It's time to talk about the return of Jafar. So the story picks up where Iago has dug them out of the desert, and Jafar is like, "Release me from this land." And Iago is all fed up because he feels like he's been doing all the work and getting none of the credit as Jafar has been running things. And Jafar says, "If it wasn't for me, you'd still be at a store eating crackers." And then it leads into Iago singing, "I'm looking out for me," and trying to find a way back into the palace, where he realizes that Aladdin is now living in the palace with the Sultan and Jasmine. And then he thinks he's going to play the sympathy card with Aladdin, where he's like covered himself in dirt and he's barely breathing, and he's trying to get Aladdin's attention so that he can take over the palace. He's still kind of evil at this point. His mission is to now prove that he could do things better than Jafar. And of course, Aladdin's not buying any of this. He is sitting there thinking, Iago's done us dirty. He's done nothing to prove himself. And I'm nobody. You're not fooling nobody. To which Iago says, "Wait, I was under Jafar's spell with a snake staff, just like the Sultan." And Aladdin still doesn't believe him. But after a group of thieves stole some treasure, and Aladdin thwarted them and basically started giving the treasure to the people, which made Abu mad, by the way, and because he didn't want to do it. But he's like, "We don't need this money." And then they caught up to Aladdin, to which they were almost going to beat Aladdin, and Iago did something good for Aladdin, which made Aladdin believe, because he got him out of trouble, that he could not really trust Iago, but he was willing to give him a chance. So he had the bright idea. Aladdin, he never learns from his mistakes. He didn't want to tell Jasmine or the Sultan that he had Iago until he deemed they were ready. So he puts Iago in a cage, and Jasmine tells Aladdin that her dad's got this big dinner planned for them, and he's trying to get information from Jasmine. But she's not giving in because she said she promised she wouldn't spoil her father's surprise. And if you're enjoying this video to this point, please like and subscribe to the channel. It would really help out a lot. And so they're getting ready for this dinner, and then this big puff of magic smoke appears, to which it's the genie who's back from seeing the world. And he's talking about all the places he's been and all the things he's done. But he says there's not really a place like home, and you guys are my friends, and this is where I want to be. And as exciting as the world is, it's just not the same without you guys. And so the story continues, and they're all going to this dinner except for Abu, who has to stand guard over Iago because they still don't trust him, so they got him in a cage. And Iago's sitting there trying to convince poor Abu that he should let him out and he's promising him bananas and all this other stuff. And he opens the cage, and there's the tiger, Raj. And then Iago's like, close the cage, over this Iago appearance because they know what he's like with Jafar. And Aladdin figures out that he's in trouble because he's again lied to Jasmine, just like in the first movie, after promising her that he wouldn't do that again. So then Jasmine is mad at Aladdin, and the genie, Abu, and the rug are trying to figure out how to get them back together. And Iago's like, "I don't do this. This is not my problem." And the only way the genie convinces Iago to help is he tells him it'll be sneaky. And Iago's like, "Sneaky, I can do." And then they come up with this plan where Iago does another number of him singing enough of this love stuff. And Jasmine ends up singing along, and her and Aladdin are okay again after all this. And Jafar finds another master in the meantime. And he's another simpleton, much like in the first movie. His name is Azim, and all he wants is riches. And he's got 3 wishes. And Jafar kind of messes with him a bit. He gives him his wishes, but in weird ways. Like he wished for the riches of a boat that has sunk, so he put him in the ocean. And then he wished to be back in the desert. And he keeps holding this third wish over until he gets what he wants. And then it's really funny because Jafar has this master plan to deal with Aladdin and the rest of the family. And he captures the rest of the family and locks them away. And he goes and he sets up Aladdin and the genie and Abu, and Aladdin's trying to save the Sultan. And then Azim, who has problems with Aladdin, kicks him into the water. But Jafar goes out of his way to save Aladdin. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And the funny thing is, Azim gets all upset because he's like, you saved him. He would have been smushed by the rocks or whatever." And Jafar had a bigger plan, as he took the Sultan's hat and he wrecked it basically and left it in Aladdin's room. and he basically framed Aladdin for the disappearance of the Sultan, and he shapeshifted into Jasmine so that he could then sentence Aladdin to his punishment, which Jasmine doesn't like, and Iago, who is Jafar's right hand man again, who set the whole thing up. But then when Jafar leaves, Iago's like trying to help the genie, and they gotta lift him higher. And just as they're about to carry out the sentence of Aladdin, the genie saves him in just the nick of time. And then the genie uses his magic to free everybody else. And then they're trying to figure out how to stop Jafar because Iago's like, let's run away now because Jafar's all powerful. Let's run for our lives. But then Aladdin says, no, we can't do that because we need to stop him and we need to save Agrabah again. And Iago takes off, and every time they stand up to Jafar, he finds the upper hand, whether it be Jasmine or Abu, or there's a scene where the carpet gets Aladdin, but then Jafar uses his magic to destroy the carpet, and, because they're trying to destroy the lamp, because they figured out that if they destroy the lamp, then Jafar will go away. And Jafar's winning, and it looks like Aladdin's in big trouble. And then Iago comes back and says, Jafar, shut up. And then so Jafar calls him a traitor and zaps Iago, who takes away most of his strength. And, well, Jafar is distracted because he's trying to take care of Aladdin. And he realizes the genie tricked him. And while he's distracted because he thought he had Aladdin, but he's turning blue, which turned into the genie. And then Iago kicks the lamp into the lava, which makes Jafar disappear because he goes away, and that's how they save the day. Everybody celebrates. The carpet comes back together. Abu, and then Iago's like waiting for the Sultan to announce that Aladdin is the royal vizier because he thinks he's got life on easy street. Once Aladdin takes over, he'll be the royal vizier. Aladdin turned him down to save to go and see the world. And then Iago's like, what about Jasmine? She's not going to tolerate. She's not just going to sit there and wait for you to come back. And she goes, absolutely not. I'm going to see the world too. And that's how it ends. So until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I'm Mo Money. Mamba out.